Hi, I'm Norm Abram. Welcome to the New Yankee Workshop. Today's project takes its cue
Welcome back, everyone, to another Bleak Rides. Today we're doing a follow-up episode on this old driveway. I'm going to be winterizing my 05 Harley Sportster, getting it put away. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode of this old driveway. Come along, we got some stuff to see. One of the products I'll be using today is Stabil, a fuel stabilizer for the storage of your motorcycle. I'm going to start with checking my fuel level. I'm not full, I'm about at 3/4 of a tank. 1 ounce of this stuff, and it is labeled on the side for easy finding. 1 ounce of this stuff will treat 2.5 gallons of fuel. I have just enough left to treat this whole tank. I will need to top it off and put this in while I'm at the gas station, so the ride home make sure I circulate it through my fuel system before shutting the fuel system off and draining the carburetor. So let's go get some gas, shall we? Alright, well, threw a little gear on, got my jacket, and these Indy Ridge camel leather gloves are my favorite in fall. Lots of dexterity. They're lined, they're warm, they're actually enjoyable to wear. Alright, well, let's go stabilize our fuel. Woo! Brisk! Lovely, lovely, brisk fall day. Eye-watering. Oh, yeah. So like I was saying, these gloves are incredible. And they're very warm. Very, very warm. So my first choice when it comes to fall. As you'll see, I'm standing the bike up while I fill. I do not want to only get a portion of the tank or mess up the dilution ratio of my stabilizer. So that's about as full as I'm going to be able to get it. Now, as I said, I've got almost 2. 1 ounce treats 2.5 gallons, 4.5 gallon tank. I think we're going to be perfect. The whole point of doing that stabilizer while at the gas station was so that as I ride home, it sloshes around in the tank, gets a good mix, and begins feeding down our supply line towards the carburetor. Stabilizing the fuel available, keeping it from gathering more moisture than is desired. I think my carburetor needs an adjustment. With winter coming, and as I prepare my carburetor for it, I will be turning the fuel petcock to off. Now no more fuel will run through this hose down into my carburetor. Next, we'll remove our air cleaner cover. For me, this is a 3/16 Allen. Next, we have the air filter. To remove it, I'll be using a 3/8 inch socket. Next, we have 9/16 bolts holding on our carburetor cover. Now, with access to the bottom of our carburetor, we have 4 screws holding the carb bowl in place. If I remove each one of these, the bowl will drop down, showing us the bowl floats and allowing us to dump any fuel inside this carburetor bowl. Just like that, we've started draining our carburetor. There will be a fair amount of fuel in here. This is Future Bleak saying, these are delicate operations. Take your time, be consistent, and make sure above all, you're checking your work. Things are tight, things aren't binding, things look good, that everything's going back together the same way it came apart. And look at that. No gasoline buildup on the engine. Be sure to dispose of this stuff correctly. Let's keep the earth nice so we can all enjoy riding it.
Will start pollution. People can stop it.
Well, there you go. We've winterized our bike. I did off camera go ahead and air up the tires. That's a project that I'm pretty certain everyone can do, but so are some of these other projects. I am the furthest thing from a mechanic that one could be. More likely I'm a 200-pound gorilla. But I'm also a gorilla on a budget. So, as many of these projects as I think I'm capable of doing, I'm going to continue doing here on this old driveway. I want you to know, I believe in you. And if I can do this, I think you can too. With a very rudimentary set of tools and a little bit of know-how, patience, and understanding, you too can can ensure that you won't have a costly carburetor repair the following season. I was very surprised to find that I did not have any water buildup or excess inside my bowl. In fact, it was very clean and free of pitting. That's a win. I'm glad this carburetor is in good shape. It's an OEM Harley carburetor, and I'd like to keep it that way. Well, only one thing left to do. Well, there we go. Bike's put away for the winter. Be excited to get it back out come spring. Maybe have some service done. Got a leaky head gasket. Gonna have to get that replaced. Thank you everyone for coming along on another episode of This Old Driveway, winterizing your carbureted motorcycle. I'm your host, Bleak.